right, well, there you have it. The Minister in the Presidency for Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation and the Chairperson of the National Planning Commission, Jeff Radebe, yesterday launched the National Development Plan Communication Strategy and, of course, the unveiling of that NDP 2030 brand identity that you just saw on your screen. The NDP was adopted by Cabinet in 2012 as a blueprint towards a prosperous society in 20 years. So to talk to us more about this new brand identity, we're joined by the Minister himself in studio, Jeff Radebe. So good to have you. Welcome to
Pleasure is mine, and morning to you and all your viewers.
Thank you. Talk to me about this, the new identity, the new logo. Obviously, it's a fresh new way forward. Talk to us about it.
Yes, indeed. As you know, the National Development Plan is not only a government program, but is a plan for the people of South Africa. You'll recall that in 2012, Parliament also adopted this plan, majority of South Africans. So by having this logo and identity, we want all South Africans to play their part in making this Vision 2030 a reality. Because government on its own can never succeed to implement this plan unless all South Africans, sectors, business, organized labor, organs of civil society. So this identity will put all of us together so that we know that we have one mission to fulfill, and that is the NDP.
I think a lot of people had sort of thought that this NDP had almost come to an end. It was not working anymore. It was gathering dust. It was, not being vigorous and not working towards those goals that it was intended for. And we're talking reducing poverty, unemployment and inequality. I mean, those are really at the center of what the NDP is all about. Why did it slow down? What was going on?
There's not been any slowdown, but there's been a lack of proper communication of what all people of South Africa are doing to attain that objective of the NDP. If you look at this triangle of unemployment, poverty and inequality, there are a lot of things that government has done, especially on the social side. You look at housing, the youth education, all those major strides have been made. But insofar as the economy is concerned, that's where we are having many challenges, because we're not an isolated country, we're part of the global economy. So we need all hands on deck, hence this identity, partnership, business, organized labor, each and everyone as South Africans, as individuals, yourselves as the media, you have to play your part as well.
Yeah, I mean the NDP, obviously, when we talk about its adoption was back in 2012. Since then, a lot has changed. Obviously, when we're looking at the economy of South Africa now, GDP expected to be at 0%. These things being factored into some of the changes and to the NDP?
Yes, definitely. You'll recall that last year the President unveiled a 9-point plan as part of the measures to cushion our economy, to work together with the private sector. You'll recall also that at the beginning of this year, the President assigned our Minister of Finance to work closely with business and labor. They went on a road show in America in order to ensure that we cannot afford to have a downgrade in terms of our economy in South Africa. So all these initiatives mean one thing, that we need a national conversation as South Africans so that we can also claim these achievements, but also to attend to the challenges that still bedevil our country.
Yeah. So we've got the goal being 2030, but obviously there are annual goals that want to be achieved through this NDP.
Yes, definitely.
What are we talking about? What we'd like to see? I mean, let's just take this.
For an example, in 2014, we started the first 5-year plan of action to implement the NDP, which we call a medium-term strategic framework, 2014 to 2019, with 14 outcomes, beginning with basic education, health, issues of the economy, social cohesion and nation building. And the President has signed performance agreements with each minister of government, and those ministers in turn have to sign performance agreements with their heads of department. So you can see that there is a plan in action. Our responsibility now and duty as South Africans is to enter into that conversation to see what each one of us can be able to play in order to attain that vision.
Yeah, I mean, if people want to get more information about the vision, I mean, where do we look? Where do you go?
Well, you can go to our website of government. That's where the National Development Plan itself is there. And also every quarter, we give reports to Cabinet how far we've gone in implementing this National Development Plan, the achievements and the challenges, and what measures we are putting in place in order to address those challenges. So all that is public information, so we need to engage with that as well.
I think that, when South Africans look at something like this, the NDP, I think this is going to play a very vital role in the next elections coming up. These elections, I think, and please, I imagine you'd like to correct me if I'm wrong, have been a lot of lessons learned for the ANC in these elections. They have. And with this NDP, the idea is great, the concept is brilliant, but it's the implementation that is so dramatically needed. This is one way of winning voter support, and to be very serious about this.
Well, it's not about winning voter support as far as we're concerned. What is important is to change the quality of life of all South Africans, regardless of their political affiliations. That is why I've indicated that the whole of Parliament, which consists of different political parties, but they're united against this vision of the National Development Plan. So that's what drives us as government, that we want to see a better South Africa in 2030. So that's why this opportunity of this brand identity says to people, the future belongs to you. Let's make it not tomorrow, but today. Let each and every one of us play their part to make it a reality.
Yeah, to make people's lives a reality better. But, as it is right now, a lot of people feel that their lives are not better. And I think that's where the anger and frustration is coming in from South Africans. But, lessons learned, and I keep on talking about the lessons learned after these elections. Would you say there's been a bit of a regrouping, and that going forward, a lot of these plans that you have, and they're fantastic plans on paper, but it's to implement them that always seems to be a bit of a problem, to make lives better for South Africans? Are we going to see them being implemented with more vigor?
Yes, you'll see later today when we give a report of the cabinet Lekgotla that took place last week, that part of the emphasis now is to make sure that even our budget as government must be aligned with the National Development Plan, so that we can be able to create those needed jobs, to give training and education to, especially to young people. So all these measures, I think they are the role of every one of us now is to accelerate the speedy implementation of all those programs.
Fantastic. Well, it's 14 years to get this NDP together. The vision is 2030. This is the brand new identity we are talking about. And the Minister in the Presidency for Planning has been talking to about it, Jeff Radebe. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And good luck with all of it going forward. All right, let's take a break here on the program. After